Couldn't be any more obvious. Digging in wounds, stretching at sides. I owe myself out, I owe myself out, I owe myself out, I owe myself.
What's up, metal and heavy music fans? This is Flight of Icarus with MetalTrenches.com. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel because there's plenty more where this came from. Today I've got a quick opinion for you on six-piece Atlanta mathcore band the Callous Daoboys, who are bringing a sense of humor to some serious noise on their new album Die on Mars, coming via Dark Trail Records. I'd recommend the Callous Daoboys to fans of the Chariot, Every Time I Die, and the Dillinger Escape Plan, but really, pretty much if you listen to mathcore, like, this is the band for you. I could just start rapid firing off all sorts of groups right now. This album is utter chaos served up just the way I like it, and it honestly does sound like these guys threw all of my favorite mathcore bands from like the 2000s into a blender and hit puree. Take one of my favorite tracks, Fake Dinosaur Bones. It opens with a great soundbite before kicking into high gear with a very Southern fried Every Time I Die kind of guitar hook. The vocals, which by the way are all over the place, and no complaints here regarding lack of variation on this album in that respect. But anyways, they fall in a very similar vein here, especially around the 40-second mark, where it's sort of a warbly Daughters meets Keith Buckley approach. I was already in love with this song at this point, but not content to stick with any one style for really more than a minute, it suddenly flips the switch into pure The Dillinger Escape Plan territory with insane panic chords, syncopated screams, and odd time signatures. And this track really is just one small microcosm of the serious ADHD that this album seems to have. It's really one of those records that is almost impossible to nail down with any single clip. Like, the killer opener to the album, Flip Flops at a Funeral, which played at the top here, seems to be a pretty straightforward mathcore ripper, but also features an abrupt detour into kind of a poppy, jazzy, violin-infused territory that's like a bizarro version of Brand New. And then soon after that, they're right back at it again.
Everyone gets tired. Everyone gets tired of creative torture.
All sorts of weird, quirky moments like that. There's kind of like a strange R&B interlude for Die on Mars side story, and I'm not gonna lie, dude has a surprisingly good singing voice, but does not take it seriously at all, which brings me to another thing I love about these guys, and I think will help them really go far. They're fucking clowns, and that's a good thing. I watch a lot of the punk rock MBA channel, and something Finn talks about all the time on there is the packaging and branding of a band. So the Callous Daoboys clearly have step one down already, which is talent and great songs. But it's their silly, relatable attitude that is icing on the cake, and I think will really help them stand out and get noticed. It's something that worked really well for bands like Protest the Hero and The Red Chord. If you just watch their music video for Fake Dinosaur Bones, it tells you basically everything you need to know. And then a quick sweep of their Bandcamp and social media, they use terms like outlaw queer metal and high-strung metalcore from the Deep South. Their lyrics, though also very clever, are absolutely ridiculous at times. And also very self-aware, to the point that they're like breaking the fourth wall, kind of Deadpool style. There's a whole portion on Contrail Crucifix where he's kind of like half singing, half talking about how like you need to buy the band's merch to support them, and sort of self-deprecating about like they're not that good and you're going to hear about this new heavy band that can't really play their instruments. And it's just this level of self-awareness that's just absolutely hilarious. They've got these skits that kind of randomly pop up here and there. There's even a rap part on the song Die on Mars Sunspot, where, no joke, there's a lyric where he says, "Circumcise your ego trip." Not a lot of music these days makes me laugh out loud, but these guys crack me up, and not in like a at their expense kind of way. Like everything they do seems to be very calculated, and also again it's backed by some serious talent and really great songs. And also again those great fusions like the track Blackberry DeLorean. I think Glassjaw meets the number 12 Looks Like You. Really, I could go on and on with this one with all of the great moments because, again, I feel like I've really only scratched the surface in terms of sharing what this crew is truly capable of. This is one of those albums where every song is amazing, every song is a little bit different, and it really has to be experienced as a whole to really understand what the Callous Daoboys are really all about. It's silly, it's sassy, it made me laugh out loud more than once, but never fucks around when it comes to delivering seriously impressive tunes and seriously pit-worthy breakdowns. I give Die on Mars a 10 out of 10 for enjoyability, a 10 out of 10 for musicianship, and a 9 out of 10 for innovation, averaging out to a total score of 9.7. A. Die on Mars is out June 21st via Dark Trail Records. It's already up on Bandcamp with a few tracks you can listen to. I highly suggest pre-ordering it. I'm definitely going to get a hard copy of this one. But that'll do it for this quick opinion. Thanks as always for listening. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the video, if you walked away feeling like you got something that you weren't aware of and are really interested in checking out now, give us a like. And if you're a returning listener who keeps coming back for more, consistently feels like you're getting added value from this channel in terms of finding great bands that you might have otherwise missed, check down in the description for our Patreon and consider donating just $1 a month, or if you go to the higher tiers, you get a few perks there. And again, we are on all social media, but honestly, if you don't want to miss anything, I highly recommend signing up for our mailing list. I send out an email every Friday with new content. That way it gets direct to you, because let's be real, Facebook fucking sucks now. Twitter's a trash heap, and it's really hard to see the stuff that you actually want regularly to show up on your feed at this point. But that's it for me. This is Flight of Icarus signing off. Check out these other videos for more awesome bands and albums, but I will see you in the trenches.